Hi guys, and welcome to Module 4. I just want to check in and see how everybody's doing. Letting you know that I got my 13th edition of the Norton, so there shouldn't be any more confusion in terms of page numbers, which I'm sure is a relief to many of you. I want to just look forward to next week, which is going to be our first essay, the fictional critical analysis. So we're reading one more short story this week, The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. So that'll be the last short story that we read for this unit. The Lottery is not in your Norton. I've included a link to it within the readings section in the module. And just be careful, it looks like the link doesn't work. When you click on it, a new window opens and it says something about an external link, but there's another link right there. Just click on that. It just kind of redirects you a little bit funny, and people in the past have gotten a little bit confused about that. But it's right there. It's actually going to bring you right to the New Yorker, which is where the Lottery was first published, and read through that. And as you finish that, keep it in mind as one of the stories that are going to be an option for you to focus on your analysis for the essay next week. So you get to choose whichever story you had the most significant reaction to, whichever one you think opens doors for you to make a meaningful contribution to the conversation going on about that story. If there's just one that you liked more than another, I also encourage you to read that again this week. Most analysis takes place in the subsequent readings, not the first reading. So if it was Marigolds, reread Marigolds. If you liked the one from last week, A Rose for Emily, reread that. And if it was The Lottery, then reread that as well. They're three very different pieces. So pick the one that you want to spend a little bit of extra time on. So again, as we look forward to this first essay, we're going to learn the third piece that's going to be included in this kind of complicated web of information that is a literary analysis essay. So the first thing is the text itself, which is the story, and how we talk about those stories, the elements of fiction that we've been learning. We've learned plot and setting and character. This week we're going to learn how to look at symbol, figurative language, and theme, which are probably going to be the most significant elements that you're going to want to make sure that you understand before heading into next week's use of them in your essay. So again, you can choose whatever story you want, and that's going to be the basis for the meat of your argument. That's where you're going to get your textual evidence from, any textual data, direct quotes. It's your proof for the analysis that you're going to be arguing in your essay. And if you remember last week, we went through a PowerPoint in terms of different options for incorporating that kind of textual evidence into your own analysis. The week before that, we had a PowerPoint that gave us step-by-step guidelines in terms of making a thesis statement for this kind of essay. So both of those two lectures are going to be vitally important for your success of this first essay. And if it was something you feel like you need to refresh your memory on, they're still available for you. I leave previous modules open in all of their content. So go through them again if there's something in there that needs clarification, or you're finding yourself just confused about something, please don't hesitate to ask me, because now we're going to look at another aspect this week, which is how you look beyond the text itself to outside research. And we're going to get a video on using our databases to find the best source of that research. And that research can look like many different things. It could be biographical information. If you want to research Shirley Jackson, for example, if you find yourself drawn to The Lottery. It could be historical context. Is it important that the story was published in the New Yorker, and the New Yorker didn't happen to always clarify if its publications were fiction or nonfiction, and that created quite a response from the public when this magazine article or story was first published. There was a lot of backlash. People canceled their subscriptions because they were so horrified by the story, which if you haven't read the story, you will see why. But the fact that it was published in 1948, if just a few years after World War II, does that seem significant in light of the way the story unfolds? If Marigold's was the story that you liked so far and got the most meaning out of, maybe you want to look at the experience of Black Americans during the Great Depression and kind of see where those themes within that story are brought to light. So like I said, there's biographical criticism about the author itself, historical context, and there's literary criticism as well. And within that realm of research, you hear what other literary scholars have to say about the piece itself, what's being said, what's already been said, and how does your own analysis fit in within that broader conversation. So you're going to kind of take all these working pieces and try to make that into a cohesive whole. And we're going to obviously do that together if that seems a little bit overwhelming, because there is a lot of things to be considered for this type of essay. But the first thing, again, that's really important is that you have a strong grasp of the essay, about the story itself. So again, rereading those stories is the first step to doing that. So the other thing I just want to say is I'm hoping the class is going well, and if there's anything that I can do to improve the quality of your learning, to please not hesitate to ask me or give me suggestions. Online learning can be a very different and disorienting format for some student learners, and I want to make this as easy as possible. So if something is difficult for you or something I've not made clear enough, please just let me know. Keep those open doors of communication so that I can continue to improve this course. And I hope that one of the stories so far you've liked. You probably didn't like them all. It's kind of how it goes with literature in general. You won't love everything, hopefully you won't hate everything. But now that we're kind of wrapping up this first unit, we're going to start using those skills that we've been learning all along the way. So I hope you enjoy the lottery. It's one of my favorites. There's a lot to be said within the story. And if you had looked ahead in our schedule, you saw that we were originally also reading Story of an Hour in your text. But I've decided to stick just with the lottery so that we can really delve in deeper to the one story and also have enough time to devote to getting some outside research that we're going to start adding to our own analysis for next week. So thank you guys. Hope you have a great week. And please, again, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.